So another make now with our sentiment edgeables, number 44, our sub boxes. We're going to be making this gorgeous card. It's a little bit different to what you can normally do with them. We're using this die twice and we're going to create on the top and the bottom of our card, and it's going to look absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to pop that to the side and then we're going to start. So the first thing we're going to do is take our card blank, which is our 6x6 card blank, and we're going to do two parts of this with our die. So bringing in that beautiful edgeable die, just make sure that when you're cutting this, you know which way round it goes and that the cutting edge will be where you want it. So I know that the top part here is going to stay into my card and the bottom piece is going to cut out. So what we want to do is line this up on the top of our card, but I want this to stay into my card but cut out the bottom edge. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure that it goes across and then we're going to tape that down. So once it's securely in place, you can then open up your card and then we can run that through our machine. So I'm just making sure on each side that's even, and then we're going to open that up and then put that onto our platform. So with your, if you're using a Gemini, you just need your base cutting plate, then we're going to place our card inside, then our plastic shim, our magnetic and our top cutting plate, and then we're going to run them through our machine. So just popping that through into the opening of the mouth, let it go through, cuts it in no problem whatsoever and very quickly, so you can get on to that really exciting bit of designing. But we are going to do another cut first. So the first part goes into the top of your card. That's going to cut away all the bottom part of my card. So what we're going to do is create a sort of a fake panel really. So once we take that out, that's cut absolutely beautifully. I'm just going to use my pokey tool to take those little pieces out. So we can just poke those through, no problem whatsoever. So once you've took all those little pieces out, you've got the most beautiful die cut. So lovely floral arrangement, but actually I'm thinking this could be a little bit Christmassy as well. You could use these as little snowflakes, which would be nice. So taking this part out, we still want this piece of card, but this time we want to do it a little bit different. So just going to give my die a tap to take those pieces out, and any little pieces, just make sure you push them back through. You don't want any extra bits or extra die cuts in your die, and only because if you put it through, it might stop it cutting right the way through, because you're asking it to cut through or asking an intricate die cut to cut through 2 layers of cardstock, because 1 layer is already in there. So just making sure we take all those pieces out. So I think we've got them all, a couple more. Take those out, and then we can run that through. So this bit come off the bottom, so I know that this is the wide piece that we need to put back in. Now again, I need this bit to be square this time, so look at your die. This is the part that isn't going to cut out, so it's the part that we now want to put on the opposite way round. So we're just going to use this across the bottom, and again I'm using about roughly, so if I turn this round, I want roughly the same sort of size as what we did on the other one, which is about right there, and we're going to pop that there, and it just gives you this illusion at the bottom. So getting my low-tack tape, putting that across, and then we can just pop that through on our Gemini plates again and send that through. So that gives us our second die cut, and means then we can work with 2 pieces, and it just adds interest into the card that you're doing. It draws your eye into the middle, which looks fabulous. So letting that run through, that's all our die cutting done. Let's take this piece out. So what we've actually done, we've created this middle section of our card. So when we take these pieces away, that piece will come away no problem whatsoever. And then we will have all our other, I'm just going to clear up my rubbish there. Take these pieces out. And you can see we've got that beautiful, I mean that is stunning, absolutely stunning die cut there. So this piece then is going to go along the bottom, so we pop that along there, but obviously we've got no middle section. Now there's 2 things you could do here. You could either use your pretty papers, so I'm going to bring in some papers here that I've got. So I've got 2 lots which I've matte and layered together, so really beautiful. You can either stick this one onto the inside and stick this this one onto here. But what I've actually got is a piece of acetate. So if you bring in a piece of acetate, because I still want to get that reflection, I want to see the cardstock behind. So what we are going to do, we're going to use these pieces. These will go on the inside, so we'll mat and layer them first, and then we'll start constructing the outside of our card. So bringing in the tape pen just to attach that to the inside. And I love mats and layers, but I'm not being very frugal with my cardstock. You would gut this middle piece out so you could use it, put it in your bit box, or use your die cuts to cut them out. So we can pop that in, and then we're going to mat and layer this one over the top as well. So that gives us that beautiful floral papers on the inside. The sub boxes are great because they offer us so many possibilities of concepts with different styles of cards that we can do, different mats and layers, being able to watch videos like this, being able to watch online tutorials. So we've popped that bit in. We're then going to use our acetate on the inside. So I've cut it to size, but I'm going to place it on the inside of the card, and then we're going to use it. So I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of card, because what I want to do is bring in the dotty tape pen, and we're going to go across all these dots. Now when you're using the dotty tape pen, we don't want to go with some of these smaller flowers here. We want to make sure we're just doing a light touch so we don't move any of those too much. You're just putting those dots all over the flowers where you need them. And then we can go along this one. And what's great about the dotty tape pen is it secures everything in place with the dots, but the rest of the dots that you don't need go through to your scrap piece of card. I'm then going to make sure I've got that lined up, so you can't see it, but I do have, if I move, there you go, you can see it with the shine on there. And I'm going to then pull this piece down, so I know that that's not going to move, and then I'm going to give that a gentle rub. Now on the back of there, what you really want to do is use something like your scoring tool, and you want to then really make sure that those dots are adhered to that die cut, so they're stuck thoroughly down. So going to go across, making sure they're all stuck. Now if you do this, I guarantee you this will not come apart. That will be completely stuck down. And what I love about it, you can hardly see the dots at all in there. So that's our first piece done. But I also just want to bring in a little bit of baby blue. So we're using our ink baby blue from the water reactive. And I just want to put a little tiny bit down. Now you can do this when it's not on there, but I like to sort of, where the acetate is, just like to see where I'm putting that blue. So just moving that across. And all this is going to do, that baby blue just picks up the blue that we've got in our flowers underneath. So again, just moving that round, picking up, and it just gives a little bit of shading and takes the harshness of that white away. And then I'm going to blend some of that into our card at the top there. So just moving that across, coming down the sides and just over the top. And there we go. So that takes that harshness of the white off and just gives a contrasting colour. Then we're going to use our next one, and we're going to do exactly the same. So just taking some of that blue into the sides and just over. And then we're going to come round there from the bottom and add in that blue ink in, just to give that some colour. The baby blue is beautiful, but you could pick up any colour. You could use any colour of your ink pads. You could pick out your pinks or your peaches, which would look beautiful. So let's pop that to the side. And then we can see that we've got our die cut here. Let's bring in that piece of card again. And we're going to just use our dotty tape pen to go over those pieces. So these are great. If you don't have a dotty tape pen, you will find them on our Crafters Companion website. If you want to, you could use your Xyron if you have one, or you could use a sticker sheet. So I think we do sticker sheets that you can then put on your piece of card and then die cut it, and it makes them all into a sticker. And if all else fails, use your little tacky glue bottle, and you will be able to just put a precision nozzle through those to stick that down. So just using that to go across the top. So you can see that's given us, and not only has it given us this illusion of our card having that middle missing, it's also given us some rigidity on the bottom. And what I love about it is you can either have it literally as a tent fold. If I bring that round so you can see, you can either have it as a tent fold, or you can actually have it as your normal open fold as well. So either way looks really cool. So then all we want to do is we want to just use our beautiful stamps. So I'm just going to bring in some pieces of card here that I've just cut to size, and I'm going to use the blue just to go over the top of those as well. So just doing that shading onto there to bring it all and tie it all in, and then onto this one. There we go. So just tying in that sort of really pale blue colour, and then we can bring in that beautiful stamp set again. There's our stamp set. So we're just going to bring in our stamps, and then we're just going to put on here, let's have, there it is, enjoy your day. I couldn't find it there. So we're going to have enjoy your day, and we'll have time to celebrate. So we will have those. Bring in again our rocker blocks. Pick those up. And then I'm just going to make sure I've got that straight actually and the right way round. So pop that into place. And then again, I'm just going to ink this up, and I'm going to use our black Nor Black. And then let's just pop that straight down onto there. So we've got our time to celebrate, and then we're just going to switch that one out and pop in. Oh, make sure we've got that the right way. Enjoy your day. I love the mix and matching of these sentiment stamps, because you can just use them on their own as one, or you can take them and use them in different ways and mix and match them. So just putting that straight onto there. So we've got enjoy your day and time to celebrate. And I'm just going to use our blue. Let me cover my black up, because I don't want that to... there we go, bring in our blue. So I'm going to bring in some of the blue cardstock to coordinate with the bottom. And then we're going to pop this into place onto there. So I've just cut these into little strips, just to know that will we'll be able to put our sentiment on the inside of those. But sometimes it's best, like I did earlier, to just take your stamps, stamp them out, and then cut them to size. And then all we're going to do is pop them onto here. So let's use this longer one we'll have at the bottom. And then we're going to use enjoy your day at the top. And then all I've got now is I'm going to bring in some of those gems that we've got into the kit, and we're just going to add these into place. So the easiest way to do that is to use your pokey tool and use them to pick them up, which is nice and easy. And then we can take those and pop them into place. So I'm just going to use them at each end, and different sizes there. So we're going from our big to our small to our little tiny one. So just there, making sure they're sort of in line. There we go. And then we're going to do the same on our top. So one on there, then our medium one next to there, and then our little small one onto that side. And there we go. So you could be making beautiful cards like this with our sub box number 44, our sentiment edgeables.